Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning everyone. First of all, let me praise to the God because of His blessing I'll be able to be here today, and I would like also say many thanks to the committees who have given me the opportunity to be part of this event. Let me introduce myself. My name is Arlisa Amiri, and I'm going to be speaking to all of you today about Bayesian mixture multinomial regression model for loan repayment classification of village unit cooperative. Village unit cooperative, also called VUC, is the main pillar of Indonesian economy, especially for rural communities who need capital to meet their basic needs and improving the people's welfare. VUC consists of several sub-businesses, one of which is providing loan. The failure of the debtors in making loan repayment is called default risk, so that the VUC must be capable to assess prospective borrowers to minimize the risk before the loan decision is taken. In this study, loan repayment has three categories, namely on-time payment, late payment, and default. Loan repayment as the response variable is multi-category with a nominal scale, so it follows a multinomial distribution. In the VUC-X has two types of installment systems, namely monthly payment and seasonal payment. Loan repayment was coupled with installment system. This combination is produced the mixture multinomial distribution with two components. The characteristic of each component can be identified through the mixture multinomial distribution. Therefore, it is necessary to analyze the classification of loan repayment based on the mixture component. This study aims to perform the analysis of loan repayment classification. The mixture multinomial regression model coupled with Bayesian Markov chain Monte Carlo approach would be compared with polytomous logistic regression model. Meanwhile, the polytomous logistic regression model classifies the loan repayment without the component of mixture. Furthermore, the estimation result of BMMRM and PLRM will be compared to get the best modeling based on the highest percentage of accuracy. And the next, I will explain about the method. Polytomous logistic regression model is one considers a regression model for a discrete response variable in which is the nominal scale with more than two categories. Let Yg for G be the number of occurrences of category G among t-trial, and a general expression for the conditional probability of PMRM as follows, where Pg is the probability of occurrence of the G response category on the P predictor variable. The mixture of multinomial regression model is developed based on the mixture of the generalized linear model. And the model of multinomial regression has the structure described below, where K is the number of components of the mixture, and then eta is the mixture proportion. Bayesian statistics differ from the classical statistical theory since all unknown parameters are considered as random variable, with the unnormalized posterior density as follows, where prior of beta parameter is normal distribution prior, and prior of eta parameter is Dirichlet distribution prior. The mixture likelihood function can be defined as you can see in the slide. And for the algorithm, step 1, given theta, and then set an initial value of theta, and then generate t value for each parameter in each mixture component until the convergence is reached. By using this process, and the next is cut off the first burn-in observation, consider theta in the sample for the posterior of parameter after the burn-in, and then plot the posterior distribution, and the last is obtain summarizes of the posterior of parameter characteristic. And the next, I will explain about the result and discussion. Variable in this study consists of response variable and predictor variable. The predictor variable follow the principle of crediting, known as 5C principle, namely characteristic, collateral, capital, capacity, and conditions. The 5C principle is applied as reference loan analysis before loan decision is taken. The variable in this study use the variable recorded in VUC-X registered from January 2018 until December 2019. Why? As the response variable is the loan repayment with 3 categories, and then x1 is loan amount, x2 is collateral value, x3 is the number of family dependents, x4 is income of debtors, and x5 is job type of debtors with 4 categories. PLRM treats the data as a single multinomial distribution. Parameter estimation of PLRM is done by applying maximum likelihood ratio, maximum likelihood estimation coupled with Newton-Raphson iteration. The model of PLRM can be expressed as follows. Classification can be done by calculating the conditional probability of PLRM. Substitute the model that we get into this equation of PG so that the probability value for each category of response variable can be obtained. The classification is determined based on the largest probability value. The parameter estimation result of PLRM is given in table 1. The parameter is significant if p-value is lower than 5%. The interpretation of PLRM use the odds ratio value. For the example, assuming other predictor variable are fixed, every additional loan amount of 1 million rupiah means that the risk of debtors to have default tends to increase by 10 times compared to the debtors to pay loan on time. BMMRM was obtained as a mixture multinomial distribution with 2 components, pseudo prior, in which it used the result of PLRM for each category, for each component are employed here. Parameter estimation of BMMRM is done by implementing algorithm to generate 1 million iteration with sampling every 400 iteration. The iteration of the generated parameters has reached a convergence. For the example, it is history plot, quantile plot, autocorrelation plot, and density plot of x1 variable. Based on this plot, we know that the plots indicating the convergence of iteration have been reached because they show properties that irreducible, aperiodic, and recurrent have been fulfilled. And it is the result of parameter estimation of BMMRM is given in table 2. The parameter is significant when the range of credible interval doesn't contain 0. Based on table 2, the model of BMMRM can be expressed as follows, where it is the model of component 1 and it is the model of component 2. The classification is done by calculating the probability of BMMRM by entering the predictor variable into the model that we get. The debtor is classified using a particular category of loan repayment with the largest probability value. The model is chosen based on the largest probability value, and the result of accuracy of PLRM and BMMRM for 80% training data and 20% of testing data is given in table 3. Based on table 3, it can be seen that BMMRM shows more accurate to classify a loan repayment than the PLRM. The BMMRM demonstrated its ability to work 8% better in classifying loan repayment than PLRM. And the next is conclusion. The BMMRM has successfully worked to classify the loan repayment and the convergence of the posterior parameter. And then BMMRM with the chosen pseudo prior coupled with the MCMC approach give a higher percentage of loan repayment classification accuracy than PLRM. It means the BMMRM is more representative of explaining the classification of loan repayment in VOCX, and it is the reference that I use in this study, and thank you very much.